to another Meal Prep Sunday with me, Nicole Osinga, registered dietitian. So today's Meal Prep Sunday is going to be centered around gluten-free plant-based foods. So I have the discussion about if it's necessary to cut gluten out of your diet or not with a number of my clients. And maybe their reasons are, they might feel better in terms of their gastrointestinal health with cutting gluten out. Or some people find that, eczema or their rashes get better without gluten. My advice is normally, we don't need gluten in our diet. If you don't have celiac disease, it's not a definitive, you definitely have to cut it out. However, let's experiment if you do feel better without gluten. And my job is to provide you with adequate replacements for gluten in terms of, are we still getting those B vitamins? Are we still getting those fiber? So anyways, I'm going to be talking about gluten in today's meal prep, and I hope you enjoy.
All right, so here I'm chopping up the broccoli that I'm going to be roasting for the quinoa broccoli casserole. So just putting that on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper and putting that in the oven. While that's baking, I'm going to move on to the next recipe. And for this recipe, I'm going to be making a gluten-free pasta with eggplant and zucchini. I often actually don't cook with eggplant, so this was a nice change. And I'm using a garlic infused oil. Typically garlic and onion do cause some bloating, etc. So this is my way of taking down the garlic and still adding flavor. Chopping the zucchini, so basically I'm roasting that on the pan, and I'm going to be adding that to some tomatoes to create a sauce. Next thing I'm going to be doing is chopping up the tofu for the Pan Tofu Recipe. This tofu was pressed for about 20 minutes with something heavy on top, with the tofu is also wrapped in a paper towel. And I'm going to marinate them in a marinade for about 20 minutes. And while that's happening, I'm going to move on to the next recipe. So this is me adding the eggplant and zucchini to some diced tomatoes. I'm putting some basil in there as well, and I'm just simmering that on the stove top for about 10 minutes or so. And then that's going to be my pasta sauce. Heading back to the sheet pan recipe, I'm just dicing up these little baby potatoes, and I'm going to be throwing some mushrooms on the sheet pan as well, along with the marinated tofu and the potatoes and some onion. It's super delicious. I loved this recipe. And I'm just realizing now that I didn't film all the steps for the broccoli quinoa casserole. It was really just a matter of making the quinoa and roasting the broccoli, combining it with some plant-based cheese, along with a few other ingredients. But definitely head to NicoleSinga.com for the full recipe. The next I'm going to be making my overnight oats like I do most weeks, so adding some flax seeds to these ones, along with some plant-based milk, a little bit of yogurt, and adding some berries and nuts for the topping. You know the drill, it's pretty standard. All right, and then this is the finished product. So that's the broccoli quinoa casserole over there, the sheet pan tofu and potatoes, the overnight oats as well. And then here is the pasta with the edamame topping.
Well, that was my gluten-free plant-based meal prep Sunday. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely subscribe for more meal prep Sunday videos. As well, check out the full recipes on my website, NicoleOsinga.com. Thank you so much and have a great day.